Uh-huh. Sorry. My belly's big.
Praise the Lord, everybody. Don't you know that the greatest gift of all is Jesus Christ, the Son of God, gave us His love, gave us His kindness to worship Him in this season. Let us come. Let us kneel down before Him, worship and adore. Oh, let us come. Hallelujah. Only blessed Savior, kneel down before Him, worship and adore Him. We call it Emmanuel. Emmanuel. Say He's the great I am. Emmanuel. Say He is God that is with us. Emmanuel. Say it again, Emmanuel. Emmanuel. How soon coming, Emmanuel. Oh yes, He is the Lord that is with us. We worship You. We honor You, God, in this place tonight. There is no one like You, God. You are the lover of our soul. So we come. Let us kneel down before Him as we bow our will to His will. Worship. Hallelujah. Oh, let us come. Hallelujah. Kneel down before Him. Worship and adore Him. Oh, Emmanuel. Emmanuel.
Yes. Let's give God a good Praise the Lord. This is the choral ensemble. Yes. So we're asking for your prayers. We're praying for our own choral director, Minister Larry Robinson. He lost his uncle, so he had to fly out to go to the funeral. But he has entrusted us, the ensemble, and me, to lead the ensemble for Carol of the Davis. So pray for us. I'm trying to get a microphone set, but thank you, Brother John. And we almost got to hear those things. Pray for us, Brother Carol of the Davis. Amen.
Welcome to Mary All the Way. Without further ado, I'm going to introduce your host on tonight, Ms. Beatrice Mines.
Thank you so much for joining us this evening for a merry conversation with our pastors. And thank you so much to Pastors Plus for hosting this and our pastors for agreeing to do this. So without further ado, I'm going to call our pastors up to the stage. Please help us give them a rousing welcome. Many of you might have seen the story that I wrote about them for the anniversary book, and that is what inspired this interview this evening. When I sat down with them for that interview about 50 years of marriage,
it was very much, even though I'm single, like a master class. So I would say sit back and relax tonight, but I'm gonna say sit up and take notes. So I'm gonna jump right into our interview because we have some great questions and I don't want to miss anything. So my first question is gonna be a heavy-hitting question because I don't want to leave this out. So I'm gonna ask my most important question first. How did you learn to recognize the voice of the Lord?
Oh.
Here. Can you hear me? Okay. I learned to hear the voice of the Lord by listening to wise godly counsel that I received from my mentors and my parents who would give me spiritual guidance and wisdom. But at some point, as I began to mature in the Lord and develop my own relationship with the Lord, that's when I truly learned His voice and to know His voice. But it started out by, being open to receive godly counsel and wisdom from different prophets and different pastors and teachers and instructors that the Lord had placed in my life. But to truly know His voice, you have to have a relationship.
Well, I'll piggyback on that, but I'm going to say that spending a lot of time with God alone. And that's the way I begin to recognize the Lord speaking to me, is by spending quality time with Him and being alone and staying in His Word. Just staying in His Word, reading His Word, and listening. As I prayed, I wanted to listen, and I began to hear the voice of the Lord by spending much time with Him. And that is, we said earlier, a relationship, having a relationship with Him and knowing the voice of the Lord. Because many voices are out there speaking, and that's what the Lord tells us, that my sheep know my voice. And it's important that you know His voice versus all the other voices that are speaking. So many people are being led by the wrong voice because they don't have a relationship with God. With a relationship with God and being with Him, you recognize and hear His voice beyond running.
If you could have a 1-minute phone call to yourself at any point in your life, past or future, when would you call and what would you say?
Mine would be future, since past is over with now. I would say future. I would tell myself, do not get distracted. Stay the course of what you're doing now. Because I would tell myself, Tommy, the Lord is soon to come, and you cannot be distracted by anyone or anything.
I guess if I could call myself, it would be a call of encouragement. And I would just tell myself, encourage myself in the Lord and tell myself, to hold on. I'd have to agree with my husband, just don't give up. Because I feel like so many pastors and, people that have been called to this work have gotten greatly discouraged and, different things have happened in their lives that have pulled them away from ministry. So I would tell myself as well to be strong in the Lord and in the power of His might. And I would just try to build myself up.
Well, what are some things that you would suggest that we do as saints to fortify and to build ourselves up? Because we hear you say, stay strong in the Lord, but what are things that you see that we could be doing more of?
I'd start out by saying, developing and working on your relationship with the Lord and knowing that we have no options. You know, we do this out of love, but when you just look at, you read your word and you hear the word constantly, and you fast and pray, those are the things that help build your relationship with the Lord. Build yourself up, the Bible says, in your most holy faith, praying in the Spirit, forming that relationship with God, spending time with Him, doing all those things, making God your priority, and your relationship with Him your priority. Because I'm telling you, we can see the signs of the times, and we know that the day is at hand. So the enemy is putting all kinds of pressure on the people, warring against our minds and attacking us. And there's so many obstacles as well. We think social media, things that we didn't have as young people to deal with. Our young people are caught up in social media and peer pressure a lot more than we are. So it takes a strong constitution. And I would just tell the saints, you have to fast and pray as never before and be what you say you are. Have a strong determination to live a holy life.
What is the most challenging component of ministry, or some of the most challenging components of ministry?
Trying to be balanced for me. It's trying to be balanced because I feel that I need to do too much. And my strong point is my wife to keep me balanced and grounded. Just this week, I was here on Monday morning, and my concerns was after Saturday's activities that we had at the Christmas program. I thank God for helpers, Elder Mack and Brother James. We had the bathrooms up here just overflooding and overflooding, and could not stop it. We called a plumber on an emergency basis to come out to repair it. Coming out Monday, meeting me and Brother Collins, they could not get it fixed. And my problem is, it's always been this way when I worked corporate America. I can't seem to shake things or leave them undone. So I take it home with me. It wakes me up 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning, wondering, did it get done? Just the sure work of a ministry. Most people think it's just going up in the pulpit, but it's more than just going to the pulpit. It's praying for people at night. And being that I can't balance that, and I've been trying it now for 33 years, and it's still difficult for me to release that. It's very rough. It's just part of what you're supposed to do, and I struggle with that.
Yes. I'm trying to get him to learn how to delegate. It's time for us after 33 years and being in our 70s to learn how to delegate and to trust other people, to attend to the things that need to be attended to. But I understand at the same time that nobody cares about things like you do. Like we're the founders of the ministry. And if anybody cares about it, we have to care about it first. So, but I feel like God has given us trustworthy people. And I try to tell my husband that you have to go, but he's determined. he's determined. And I thank God because, you know, we're here today because of his tenacity and because he does care so much. But we have so many people that are willing to sacrifice their time and to be here in our stead. So, you know, balance is something that we're still working on.
What makes High Point unique as a church?
I would say the fact that it's still one of the only churches where we truly believe in the move of the Spirit. And where, I don't know of too many churches where the pastor will stop and pray for the whole church. It's a good thing to be spirit-led and allow the Lord to move and have a heart for the people. And I've said this over and over, that if you don't get nothing else from High Point, know that it was all about your soul, that we didn't intrude on you or impose on you in any way. We were only concerned about your soul and that you make heaven. And, you know, I just look at the last miracle line. And oh, everybody that needs a miracle. And first it started out just a few. And then gradually the line kept going. I saw my husband, you know, the line kept going, but he didn't stop. Because it's all about the people and wanting to see them blessed and their needs met. Yeah.
Well, I somewhat agree with that totally, but I feel like this should be a holistic ministry. I've only been in 3 churches in my life, and one of the things that I was in the PAW for years, and I felt being there was something missing until I went to Denver and worked with my father-in-law, and I began to see things that churches was missing, and that was the whole man being ministered to. Other than just the word, people need other things. They need deliverance. And a lot of churches don't put that in their services. They don't believe in deliverance. They think just the word alone. And I remember Jesus in the 9th chapter of Mark, when his disciples came in when he was up on the Mount of Transfiguration. And they brought the boy to him that was demon-possessed, and Jesus wasn't there. I'll use the 9 as being part of the church. They brought him to the church, and the church couldn't do anything with him. Then when Jesus came down, he said, "Bring the boy to me." And in the dialogue later on, he said, "These kind come out but by fasting and prayer." And I think when you come to High Point, we should always, we should be praying and fasting. At least I do Sundays and Wednesdays we fast, because I'm looking for a move of God. I feel I have to be in a place when something do appear that we can handle it spiritually. And that's lacking in a lot of churches, is total deliverance and healing and miracles.
So when I was interviewing you about your marriage, we talked quite a bit about mentoring. And what I want to know is, what's the best piece of advice that you received along the way, spiritually or naturally, that really shaped you to this point?
Well, the best piece of advice that I received as a young lady was from an evangelist, Rosemary Gage, that told me not to sell my song, Peanut Butter and Jelly. That was a significant piece of advice. And I say that because the Lord blessed that song to go internationally. And I haven't met a person that hasn't heard that song. And I happened to be flying on a plane one time. I was on a trip And it was back in the day, I think, when AirTran was flying. And you know how AirTran, you could hear Sirius radio when you were flying on the plane. So I had gotten up and gone to the restroom, and when I was going back to my seats, the kid said, "Mom, hurry, put your headphones on." And so when I got back to my seat, I put my headphones on, and they were playing Peanut Butter and Jelly. So I said, I'm flying 30,000 feet up in the sky and hearing a song that I wrote on the radio. And because of that wisdom and that advice that the evangelist gave me, I own that song 100%.
The best piece of advice I received is from Mother Shaw. When we first started pastoring, I love hard. And so I love the people. And being this way, Mother Shaw told me one day she's seen me go through some hurts because of loving people so much. And people will leave you and won't say goodbye. And it's a killer to the heart when you love like that. So she came up to me one day, she seen me in pain. And she said, "Pastor, the Lord told me to tell you to wear the people like a loose garment. So if you don't do that, they're going to kill you one day." And that's the best advice that I've received starting ministry to keep me being hurt so bad.
So this is kind of piggyback on that, in that we are such a diverse body of people that you deal with, and you have to be able to gauge people kind of quickly and also discern people. What's a question that you find yourself asking, or that you would ask a person to be able to kind of get a good idea of who they are? They ask me all this question.
With me, it'd be more than one question, because one question is not enough for me to gauge people. I want to say like Jesus said, he said, "You love me, you will keep my commandments." One of the main questions is, are you really saying that you love the Lord? That's a starting out question, because if they love the Lord, then I can count on them for being truthful with me. But that's the one thing I would like to know is, do you love the Lord? Are you really saved? That's one, but I need more than one question to ask them. I could do other things, but that's the main thing. You have to be saved.
I agree. The question, do you know Jesus?
What is the greatest strength? What is your greatest strength? And when did you realize it, and how do you hone it?
I think mine is patience. The older I get, it's getting worse. Mine is patience. And my wife sometimes she will say to me, "How could you spend hours counseling people where she don't like to spend hours, but if it takes hours, I will do it. I will sit there patiently and listen and try to give godly answers that help the person out. I'm not quick to let a person go if they're not satisfied. I will stay there all night. If it takes all night, I'll be there all night with them. So I'll say patience is one of my virtues. But the traffic, I'm not too good at the traffic.
Yeah, patience is a virtue. No, in counseling, I'm a cut to the chase person. Like Pastor, they'll start off, "Oh, how was your day?" Now, we don't talk about everything except what the person is talking. So I do the pleasantries, but I'm like, okay, why are you here today? I want to get to the matter, because I think, and what I try to get him to see, that you can wear yourself out. You see what I'm trying to say? And even though we have given our bodies as a living sacrifice, you know, we still have to use wisdom. Because sometimes, you know, people will take advantage of your kindness. And then another thing I don't like to do, if people don't listen to you and you give wise counsel and you see that they're not implementing the wisdom that you've given them, you're wasting your time.
Yeah.
You see what I'm trying to say? So I'm like, you know, we don't have to just keep going around the mountain. But I think my strength is being a peacemaker. I love to try to bring peace to situations. And I hone that skill by trying to be an example of being a peacemaker. I don't like falling outs, especially among the saints. I don't see why people can't work their issues out. And, you know, I just don't like contention and people having ill feelings toward each other. So any way that I can, I try to bring, you know, peace to the situation.
One of the things we do every year is the volunteer drive over here. And one year we were just over here as the auxiliary heads, and the auxiliary heads started to recruit other auxiliary heads because a lot of the saints weren't coming over to this building. They didn't realize we were in here. And Pastor always said that he wants us to get involved in different auxiliaries. So some people haven't gotten involved maybe because they don't think they know what their gift is. But what are some ways that we can kind of try to learn what our gift is and, you know, get involved and sharpen it?
I always say, you play to your strengths. I'm trying to teach my grandkids this. Whatever you're good at, whatever you enjoy doing, those are perhaps the talents and the gifts that God has given you. But I always tell people that when it comes to volunteering, you know, everybody should be doing something. You know, nobody should be idle. We all should want to help shoulder the burden of ministry. But I always tell people, if you want to find out what your specific gift is, ask, and it shall be given you. Seek the Lord, and ye shall find. Knock, and it shall be opened unto you. And I was talking to one of my granddaughters the other day, and I told her, now I didn't know at the age of 12 that I was going to be a preacher. But I told my granddaughter, I said, I do remember that my mother was a devout Christian Baptist, and she was very active in the church and kept us in church as well. And I told her, I remember in Denver, we were the members of New Hope Baptist Church. And I said, but I remember at the age of 12 years old, standing at the podium, being chosen to stand at the podium to read the 23rd Psalm. And that was my first time standing in a pulpit and reading a scripture. But little did I know that that was a precursor to what the Lord had for me down the line. And when I said that, she recalled an incident where she had been chosen to speak. And she says, you know, Grandma, I think I'm going to be called to preach.
So what is your vision as leaders for the young people?
I'm gonna say this. I want to piggyback off of what she was saying, trying to find your gifting or your talents. I always believe this: do what you know to do, and God's going to show you what you should do. that comes from just whatever you find your hands to do. You just do it, and you do it with all your might and all sincerity. I never thought I would be a preacher. At a young age, we didn't go to church, so I don't have the experiences that a lot of the young people have today, born in the church. So when I first got to the church, we was teenagers, we was in high school. I think before my mother got saved. Never thought I would be a preacher because I thought that the church was too strict. When we went there with Mom, we had all these dress codes and etc. and the things you cannot do that kind of pushed me away from the church. So I never wanted to be saved. So finally, this is something I think that really sparked my interest. I went to a youth meeting one night, and our youth leader had the young kids quoting the books of the Bible. I didn't know Genesis from Revelation. You know, we didn't go to church, so we didn't have Bibles. And so when I heard those kids begin to quote the books of the Bible, it inspired me. Something just went off in my spirit that I would like to do that one day. I still didn't do it. Just found out, I was telling Elder Matt, just found out last year, I knew there was something about me special, but I didn't understand it. Losing Dad at a young age, he was just lost, wondering. But one of my cousins told me last year, she said, Tommy, when you was a young boy, she's 80 years old, she said, when you was a young boy, you seen things that we didn't see. She said, we used to go places, you would see things, and it would scare us because you were seeing things. I couldn't recall all of that, but I know the hand of the Lord was on me at that time. And I would tell the young people, just live saved. I was talking to my wife about this the other day, and be an example to other young people. And these are things that keep young people from being what God wants them to be because of peer pressure and trying to be like everybody else, trying to look like everybody else in the magazines, on the TVs. And all you have to do is just be yourself and love God, and God's going to take you to the place where you need to go. And that's that peer pressure that young people are going through today, trying to look like everybody else, trying to be like everybody else. And it's something about the sacrifice that you make for God and don't mind being different. It's when the Lord will start using you in a really different way. Just be different.
What are some life events that shaped you to who you are now?
I would say the life event that shaped my life was when my unsaved fiance put it on the radio that our wedding was canceled. Yeah, I've told this before. Yeah. Yeah, I'll tell the whole story. Yeah. You know. No, Tommy and I actually met in 66. Yeah, January 66. But we didn't like each other. I was, I met him at a musical, and, he was a handsome young man, beautiful smile, so forth and so on. And actually, Tony High's, was it your aunt? Yeah, Marguerite. Tony High's aunt met the young men first, and she says, oh, there's a group of young men here, and introduced us, and just, hi. So, I'd see him at some time at church and so forth and so on. But anyway, our lives were going in different directions. And all of my friends began to marry and so forth and so on. I'll just cut to the chase. So, being half saved, I think I think I was 19. Yeah, I got the Holy Ghost when I was 17. But being half saved, you know how we in the Church of God in Christ, we get saved every summer. When the evangelist came, we get saved. It's the truth. It's the and so anyway, I think that I had kind of backslid. So all of my friends, were married and they're unsaved, boyfriends and stuff, So I had a guy in my life that I had met when I was 13. My brother introduced him to me. And we had gone together all the way through high school, on and off. And he had just gotten back from Vietnam, and he proposed to me and wanted to marry me. And I just got caught up in, the fact that all of my friends are getting married, including Marguerite. Marguerite got married. My best friend, Mary Ann, she married, but they married unsaved guys. And I'm like, no, everybody's getting married. I guess I'll just get married. And so I told the guy, I said, yeah, because he loved me, and I knew that and stuff. So anyway, we planned the wedding, he bought me the ring, and so forth and so on. And we were always, fighting and stuff. But anyway, my friend she called me on the phone the day of the wedding. It was the day. He knows it's here. The day before the wedding, she said, Carolyn, she called me Carolyn. What have you done, girl? I said, what are you talking about? She said, girl, it's on the radio that your wedding is canceled. Because, I told you the Beecham Jubilettes, my dad was a pastor. The Beechams were well known. We had a singing group and everything, So he put out the wedding of George Hudson and Carolyn Beecham is canceled. She said, turn on the radio, girl, and you'll hear it. And so I said, oh, no. So my mother and Ruby, Ruby wasn't saved. We all jumps in the car and goes to the guy's house, and all this kind of stuff. Ruby is yeah, I'm talking to you. Ruby is cussing the boy's mom out. And my mother was very angry because she had spent money on the wedding, but I felt like a sense of relief that came over me because I was getting ready to make a huge mistake. So anyway, needless to say, when I got home, my father met me at the door. And he said, Carolyn, it's okay. I didn't want you to marry him anyway. And I said, Daddy, how come you didn't say anything to me? He said, well, you're grown. I didn't want to, interfere, but he said, he wasn't for you. The next day was the wedding. Then that Sunday, the young man called me and told me what happened, why he left. And he wanted to fly me up to Chicago to marry. And I said no, because by that time I knew that God wasn't in it. And within 2 weeks, the Lord let my spiritual mother call me. And she said, Carolyn, God said you're a chosen vessel. And you just can't marry anybody. She said, the Lord said, don't you go around with your head hung down. Your husband is right around the corner. Now that's the truth as I'm sitting here. Then all of a sudden, I start just longing to see Tommy. And I said, I told my sister, I said, I just have Tommy in my spirit. But anyway, long story short, because like I said, Tommy heard the whole incident. He was there in Denver. So anyway, I ran into his friend one day and I said, I asked him about it. He said, oh, Tommy don't want to be bothered. You don't want to see nobody. And I was like, just tell him I said, hey. So then another week went by. Guess who came knocking on my door? So anyway, I was like, what you guys doing? We're going to a musical. You want to go with us? I said, no. I said, I'm watching whatever happened to Baby Jane. So my sister said, girl, you been wanting to see it. You better go. So I went, and, the rest is history. But that event shaped my life and taught me that God had his hand on me because he allowed my friends to marry their unsaved spouses, and it didn't turn out so well. But he kept me from that. And Lord willing, we'll be married 51.
I have one final question because my time is up, but what as members can we do to more closely embody the vision that you have for High Point?
One of the scriptures that I want to read, I like for someone to read it if you can. That's the 10th chapter of Luke. It's my vision for the church, for the whole body of Christ. The 10th chapter, I don't have my glasses, but the 10th chapter of Luke, it's actually, you can read the first and the second verse. If someone have a Bible, just start reading and I'll listen to you. 10th chapter of Luke, 10th chapter, verses 1 and 2. I challenge the church on this. I think it was last year that I challenged the church, and I still want to see the church get involved with this. Jesus was talking to the 70 here. In the 9th chapter of Luke, he sent out the 12, and in the 10th chapter, he sends out an additional 70 more. And I want you to listen to what he says to them in the second. Read the first and the second verse.
After these things, the Lord appointed other 70 also, and sent them 2 and 2 before his face into every city and place whither he himself would come. Therefore said he unto them,
Therefore he said unto them,
the harvest truly is great, but the laborers are few.
That's my heart's desire, that we get out of these walls. All the teaching we're getting, all the preaching we're getting, is get out of these walls and win souls to Christ. I like to see us not just go and witness just to people that we feel comfortable with, just with black people. My vision is to see what heaven is going to look like. Heaven ain't going to be all black. I want to see a multicultural church, and all we're going to do is get out of these walls and witness to black, white, Asian, Spanish, whatever. And that's my vision. I want the church to really get busy and get out and start witnessing for Christ.
Oh, I was going to finish the verse. Therefore said he unto them, the harvest truly is great, but the laborers are few. Pray ye therefore the Lord of the harvest, that he would send forth laborers into his harvest.
Thank you so much to our pastors for this fantastic interview tonight. Thank you so much for that.
Thank you all for coming out tonight. Let's give it one more time for our pastor. After this, we're going to, I guess we're going to take the offering.
As you prepare your hearts for giving, we're going to give you some brief announcements. But raise your hands high so that the ushers can assist you. Everybody should be giving something on tonight. God has been good to us. Amen. Raise your hands high so that you can be assisted with the tithe and offering envelope. Amen. Service will be canceled.